Hello, hello. Welcome to Sunday morning coffee with me, Annie, here at 10 a.m., which it is on a retrospect. Apologies for being late. I was asleep. I woke up and went, hmm, it's daylight, and it was 7 minutes past. So I'm very sorry. You can tell I've just run. Oh, I've just run. Maybe if I do that, it won't be as bad. And Yes, I'm still waking up. So I've got coffee and I have a live stream and you find people. I actually was purposefully half an hour late because I wanted you to all chat and bond. That was the plan all along. Haha. Kinsfolks, I thought you were trying no video audio this week. Yeah, just a bad Squiddo chat room. I'm very glad you've all been having a nice morning chatting. I've had it glancing at it while I've been running around sorting stuff. It's all nice and cute, um, in a good way. Um, so yeah, I oh no bond for handiwork. We're in my dream. You I woke literally from dream and then ran down here, and you've all come to hear what my dream. In my dream, I was burying hamsters, and then Photoshop was wrong, and I was trying to sort of blur on Photoshop, and this is great, isn't it? This is top tier content. Um, then I was trying to figure out how to price some ogres, and then my Nokia phone had locked, and I couldn't remember the password for it. And I thought, why do I still use this trusty Nokia? But then I'd written a note saying that I've told Hodgson my password back in 2023. And I was like, dang, I need to get those passwords from John. And then I woke up and then went, what time is it? Oh crap! So yes, thank you for sticking around. And here I am with some war talk. Got lots of war talk for you. So I've got mug reveal, a kiffy. We got a mug reveal. Pricing ogres. Would they come club down? There you go. We're coming again. Jammies, your dreams are like a very anxious escape room. The escape room of my life. It's not. So in my dream, I have another phone. My current many dreams. It's not a 3310. It's a um. Oh crap! I'm gonna have to look it up now. Was it not an 8210? There's like the thinner one. That's the one that I've got in a dream. Oh yeah, there were loads of dreams going on, loads of them. I was having to move house again. They're always fun. I don't want to move to Sheffield. Anyway, so here I am with my um, weekly talk about stuff. I was actually here on Tuesday. You might not have known because the screen was blank, but that was me. I didn't just have a double. It was just Andy actually the whole time going, "Hello, Annie." He's done pretty good impression of me before as well, so I may need to have like a secret password. But then he'd know the password because he'd watch this. So I'm not quite sure. It was Dave. I've been to PeachCon and Boyle and it was great. Meanwhile, I was just like out in the garden, like, what's going on over there? So today, because I did like the catch up about that on Tuesday, I'm mostly going to talk to you about the World War, the second one, um, because that's what I've been doing the last few days. I've been living in World War II, deep in research. I visited some friends last night, and them I gave them a talk through God, look at state. I gave them a talk through all of my war characters, and I'm sure they were well impressed. I said I'm going to come back and bring the miniatures and then tell them about it. Hang on, what we got? Oh yeah, Andy's at a tournament again. But last night, so we usually have one show at a time that we're watching together. we've just finished Dead City, and now it's the Daryl show that I can never remember what it's called. It's probably just Daryl Dixon, I think. Um, so it's Friday, I was like, can we start Daryl season 2? No, I'm streaming. And then he didn't even stream. And then he said, Saturday, though. So Saturday, been to a tournament all day, comes home, can we have some Daryl Dixon? No, I'm going to stream. And then tonight, he'll be streaming again. Where am I going to get my show? So absolutely blows my mind how he can play at a tournament all day, which I'm an absolute wreck afterwards, and then go and live stream. But props too. If you want some Age of Sigmar or old world content, go to Andy2D6, my housemate, who is just always live streaming or playing games, but living his dream. I was getting emotional there. I wasn't hiccuping. I'm yawning. I don't know what's going on. Is this a dream? Are we in a dream now? So at PeachCon, which I think I mentioned on Tuesday, Greasy as well. Jeez. PeachCon, lots of people, I was saying to them, I'm doing a Kickstarter on the 27th of August. And they were saying, yes, that is, I know I'm going to yawn again now. And they were saying, yep, that's in about 2 weeks. So I went, no, it's not, it's the 27th of August, which is a long time away. And then I got home and I went, oh, bugger, I've got a lot to do. So as always, I've lost a bunch of time with various illnesses, as is traditional, and then I've come out of it, and then probably had a bit of misery. Come out the misery, and go right. Time to do. Oh, it's the night before, so I'm now in the absolute beast mode. Where if I was like this all the time, the world wouldn't be ready for it, which is why I have to be put down every now and again into the ills or sads. And I've been yawning briefly, writing briefs. Writing briefs. That'd be good if I had a rhyme for that, but I haven't got one. Writing briefs and taking chiefs. But I've got it all here. I'm gonna show you some of my stuff. Oh, when Annie yawns, all the other Squiddos yawns too. So I've got the first 13 were done, sculpted, approved, cast, sprayed by indelible ink. They're the ones that you may have seen at PeachCon if you're there. But there's a load more, and I'd kind of forgot. Carry on doing the briefs. Just this was the first wave of them. So because of everything else in the way, I went, I need to do that. But I also need to get painting instructions to the painter. So John Morris is going to be painting them. But also I have had a couple of emails off you folk, which I've not clicked because I know that I need to reply to you on Monday. But yes to you all. So John's doing the official ones, but there's no way he's going to get them all done in time. And a bunch of other folk, if you want, and you're definitely going to do it, again, let me know. If I've got any more sort of spares, I can send you. You might end up getting a Xenofold one. That'd be awesome. Just to get more people painting them, to show what normal humans painting them, and not weird gods. Just reading the chat's on fire today. So I'm at that stage with those, but so for the official paint schemes, I've got to write briefs for all those. I can't just go, do what you fancy. So I think 10 o'clock on Saturday, I'm on the phone to Great Escape Games going, I don't understand Norwegian World War II uniform. What are they going to be? Is it going to be this or that? So that's my life now. I found the answer. I found the answer in the end. Whew. I found it's amazing when you find an actual photograph of the gear. So there's the gear. It's not so much the shade, it's the type of uniform, which is kind of important, especially when someone's occupied as well. You want to make sure they've got the right uniform. Rather than shade, yes, shades can change, but yeah, got them all. So John's got all the briefs and is now hurriedly going through them. Some are easier than others, but it's like really sorry. Eva Clovstad's got some Argyle socks, and Odette's got like a tartan headscarf. Like that won't be a problem, will it? I know, everything was black and white. It's good, how dare these people not take colour photographs around World War II? No, they weren't thinking of me at all. I was also trying to analyse black and white photographs, going, well, it looks dark, which is a good chance it could be navy or brown. Yeah, even that's what I've been up to. Mm, mm, mm. Delicious nectar. That's the last of my milk as well. And Andy's got lines on his milk so that I don't steal it. I won't show you. Believe me, he's crazy. He's crazy. um, so what else have I been up to? So I've done that and then went, oh crap, the Kickstarter is very soon. So I've then been brain. I've then been writing the briefs and deciding who the next bunch of figures are going to be, because there were some that I hadn't got very far in the research, and then there were some countries where I didn't have a person yet. I haven't gone, oh, it has to be every single country, but there's like, I need to have someone from here, someone from here. So the last couple of days, that's what I've been doing. I've got an interesting anecdote. Interesting anecdote. Let me look. So this is my people book, although I need to switch these out because it's at max capacity now. The bonus of the disc-bound thingy system is you can change the discs for larger or smaller discs. So I need some larger discs because this is now unwieldy, which means that the next lot has gone into a temporary disc land. But this is the people's. They've all got their own little thing there. Yeah, it goes in next land. Oh, look at all these people. This is I've been compiling stuff that's. So I've also got. I've actually been way more organised than I used to be. So that's my people book, and this obviously got a chigga and make them look nice. This is my countries and territories book. So information, this is specifically resistance, information about the resistance in these places. Oh, that's a good cover. I like that. Quality. I'm trying to, yeah. The metal discs are way better than the plastic discs. I was trying to hope that it wasn't, because obviously it's way cheaper, but metal does make a smoother page opening. So this is where I put my notes when I'm reading various books for the different countries. And then for the specific people, goes in here. And also things get written everywhere, but then they end up getting like stuck into one of these, so it's all together. And it's just an easier way of accessing everything. And I've got a second one. Stuff everywhere. Oh yeah, and when I got up and I was rushing to get this all together, I've been drying off lavender buds. So where I put the computer, there was just like this whole tin foil thing that I've got laid out full of lavender buds. I'm like, now I have to move the lavender. Oh, Jersey Wall Tunnels, nice. Yes. Oh, oh. Um, um, that is responsible. Not yet. We're doing any not. Have I not yet? I think do a bit of a patriotic thing. And I know the term patriotic is obviously been used back for a very long time. But it's mostly everyone got there's at least one person who's from that country. And part of it is whatever's happened with whatever country in World War II, because some countries have got a bit more pride than others because of how am I choppy? Oh god damn it. I'm back. Because of different countries having different, it's obviously a very complicated and emotive issue, the war. I want it so that people can be proud that there was somebody in every place who was fighting the Nazis. So even if you are a country that that cooperated, that all that sort of stuff, and obviously Germany itself, um, not everybody from these places is bad. That's the basic, which is kind of fitting with like what's happening in America at the moment. So um, there's some really horrible things going on in America, but I'm aware that there are some very lovely Americans. Who knew? So it's the same sort of thing where it's like, yes, um, Paul's doing good, and I want to really focus on that. So for the first load, it's kind of like if you're in that country, um, you can be like, yes. Um, but France is full. So I'm trying to not do too many people from each place. Um, and what am I at brain? Because I'm going to go back and do more. So this is like an introduction. So it's a few sort of well known at the moment specific people. I'm going to get more into groups later on because I want to do a lot of this resistance. I'm really hoping that this does really well. What was I going to say? Brain. So obviously a bunch of French resistance towns, all that sort of stuff will be coming, but I can't do it from the start because it costs loads of money to make minis. So that's why this is that sort of starter offer and see how it goes. But I'd like to do some really big, so you can have full units of people. And also a lot of them, as I keep saying, you don't need to use them as these women. That's not disrespectful or anything. You can group them together for different resistance squads. It's just that's the story behind the mini. But what was I saying? God, just gonna drink this. Drinking this. Like my favorite is the Netherlands. My favorite resistance is the Netherlands. There's loads of really cool people I found that I want to do from there, and I'm really struggling to not add more in because I've now got 5. There's three, so there's 3, and then yesterday I may have designed for 2 more, but disguise versions of them. I mean, so yes, 5 different people. We've got Hanny Shaft and Truce Oversteegen in their disguises, and they were disguised as a married couple. Danish. We're getting to Danish. Danish has been my so they were disguised as a couple, and this is me. I'm still waking up, so this is quite impressive and deserve a little applause across the world. They were disguised as a couple, so Truce was dressed as a man, and so they'd go around. And I'm like, this is such a brain messing up model. So it's going to be the 2 of them, and at first you're like, oh, especially of a certain demographic, you'd be like, a nice heterosexual couple there, and then you're like, actually, that one is a woman, and you're like, oh, good representation. Like, no, it's for disguise reasons. But you can also be. So I was like, oh, would that end up in gay vignettes? Like, just because it's just a good. You can use that as a really good model, I think, for things that aren't. Because Truce and Freddie weren't a couple, as far as I know, anything like that. But it's just nice, and it's like it's a woman dressed as a man. She's pretty good actually. She looks quite different, so I don't know if she's got like a little bit of prosthetic or something going on. Anything can be a gay vignette if you want to. See, I've raised you all well. I've raised you well. So that was entertaining me yesterday. Also, that Hanny's disguise is basically glasses. And we're like, no wonder Clark Kent did get away with it. So Friday was it? All there is now. I've been really stuck on head. I don't know how. I need to learn all these pronunciations before I start saying them properly. But Hederlund of the Danish resistance. I felt quite stuck. I'd reached this point. I'm like, am I gonna ditch her, find somebody else? And then I was reading about some Danish SOE, including a really good bank clerk, and I was like, maybe I'm going to do a bank clerk because I'm trying to find all these different ways of resisting. So it's not just shooting people, but that also is pretty good. But bank clerk. the Clark Kent, that was also taking in all these parcels to smuggle things and collecting all of these, like microfilm and all this sort of stuff. Um, and I thought, yeah, so I had like the start of some scribbles up, and then I stumbled across, what's her name? She's new to me. Elsie Marie, I don't again, Elsie Marie Parday, Pad. Need to learn that. That's one that it will be. And she has fascinated me yesterday and today. So I've printed a bunch off about. I can't read on screens very well, so I did have to. It's PADE. So I did have to go into the office and print, so that I can. So I haven't properly read this stuff, so I've kind of skimmed it. But she was a composer, a Danish composer, and she ends up in the resistance after she spits at some SS in the streets. Um, and she joins an all-women explosive group led by Hedda Lund. She's back. She's back in the game. I was like, yes, yes. I love it when they're friends. And then through her, found more information about what they actually did, and then did another search and found a whole bunch more on Hedda as well. It's just, again, this is what makes it a good project, is that there's not much with a lot of these characters, a lot of these people written in English. So then my searches are hard to do. So you've got to find the right thing to search and then put it through Translate. But I did find some more stuff in Danish. What have we got? Nick's off to see Superman. Enjoy. Apparently, it's very good. We got back in the game, armed with explosives. That is Hedda. And then I found a picture. Do I have? No, I don't have it on my phone. I found a picture of a whole bunch of their gang that met up in 2003, and there are all these old ladies having a laugh, and I was like, "Why we blew up their noise? Children." Like, um, Elsie has from my skim, because I was fascinated, but I also haven't fully read. She's got something along the lines of synesthesia, and she yeah, it is because it's because it's again, this is translated, so it doesn't use that word, but it sounds pretty much like that. Um, so she could just hear all these sounds all the time. And then at one point she's arrested for resistance work, and she hears this sound just sort of like booming through, and she scratches the notes with the buckle of her garter into the wall. And that became a song, which I had on yesterday, loads going, this is incredible. This is incredible. And she says something like, if I survive this, I'm dedicating my life to music. And she did. And she's written so much music. I don't know if John's still here, but he totally like ignored me yesterday. I just kept sending him a series of like, oh my god, this, listen to this, listen to this. I think he was out and about, and he was like, no, no, I'm not. But he can attest at least that I was very excited about finding Elsie yesterday. So she then, because you're like, oh, it's really nice piano music, but then she gets into like electro, like so bleep bloop music, and it's really like ahead of its time, because she's kind of translating this. And John says, I'm back from some really stressful direct action. And Annie was like, old lady piano. Exactly. The old lady. She's there. She's still fighting the Nats. She's still saying it's an issue. And it was just, yeah, she's just so cool. And again fits my theory that if these people don't die in the war, they live to forever. So she was also in her 90s, I think. So there's some really, and I've found some really good interviews with her, and they're all in Danish. So I've translated again, got them translated, and then whacked them in this printout. So that's the task. Once I've woke up after this, I'm probably still asleep. Gonna do some highlighting and notes, my little highlighters. Old Lady Bleep Bloop, yeah, it was like she had a full career, and I'm sure loads of people that know that sort of music would be like, oh my god, yes. It's just not stuff that I tend to listen to, but then knowing all the stories behind them, I was listening to it yesterday. It was pretty good background actually, because it's that like weird trancy So yeah, it was just fantastic. And she talks about how she's put their sort of experience into the music, and again with that synthesia. I am gonna see about if I probably can't get the rights because it's probably still a big record company or something. But I'll link it up because I was listening to it yesterday, just going, oh, that was composed in the cell. My God. Um, so I was just like learning that Scotty from Star Trek was also at D-Day. I did not know that, but that doesn't surprise. Yeah, and obviously the famous one, Christopher Lee as well. It wasn't. What was he in? He wasn't at World War Two. No, that's in X-Men. What was Christopher Lee in? Maybe it was. Oh my God. But he's been well old. Is he alive? This is the worst stream. He did die. No, he didn't. He's really good friends with Gandalf. He was SOE. I need to look this up. Oh, God, why haven't I got a Christopher Lee? Is it a Peninsula? Oh, all this crossover. This crossover there. Oh, have a look. Cheeky Christopher Lee. I found a cool guy, a cool SOE man in Danish in Denmark yesterday, who kind of repaired a plane in this shed, siphoned fuel from like everywhere. I just had this really like ground up building this plane, fixing it up, getting it ready. And then when he did that, when he set the propellers off, he had to time it with a train going by so nobody'd hear the like. And then he flew to England with a whole bunch of microfilm, and then he handed it into the SOE, and then they buggered it up. Like they messed up developing it, and it was all lost. I was like, what bummer! What a bummer. Um. So yeah, Elsie had some really cool stuff and had a really interesting career after. There's a lot to learn about her and from her interviews basically as well. Um, it's just I'll find a little bit. And she was very sick as a child, so a lot of that was then just her in bed, like collecting sounds and stuff like this. Um, and it's just very inspiring. So now I've got some more stuff for Heather. So Heather and Elsie are going to be reunited as little figures. And then I want to Italy. And I've decided, because I keep flitting around on Italy, to do Carla Caponi, who I'm still learning about, so I can't really tell you tons about her, other than again skimmed, went, yep, you're in. So she's getting research today, but she joins, she's resistance and then a politician, and she does some pretty wild things. There's a bit where she's like just before she's joined anything, and she's got to use the netting off her petticoat to like wad some people in the street, and something about the bit where she really wanted a gun but didn't get a gun. Um, so she just took one off someone on a bus and then shot someone. So that's an interesting story. So we're gonna have that. I am. Who else? Francis, it's Jersey Island, so that's fine. I think that's separate. Jersey. I want to do Claude's Cahoon, who I was reading about because somebody recommended. But then I want to do Claude's girlfriend, their partner. I can't remember. As well, and then that's two more. But I want to do them on this project. So I do have to be somewhat restrained. So we've got the tie-in with Handiwork Games for this project as well. Remember the wardrops, the backdrops of they're very destroyed cities, which you can also use for a lot of different things. But there's no peacetime images in there. So we've got that at the same time. And we've also got the tank track rollers, which I'll be telling you more about very soon as well. I've been sort of kneeling out the details on them. Forbidden Psalm, I can't remember if I actually said anything about it, but I was going to do a tie-in with Forbidden Psalm, a very, like, not just a bit of PDF, something a lot more cooler. And I'm going to postpone it to the next Kickstarter because time is running out and I don't want to rush through it and not have it as just like another also this is here. because there's going to be a lot of talking about who all the characters are and all the all the stuff. And then talking about whole game system and rules is just another. It's just too much, I think. And I want to do it properly. And I also want to go down to Cardiff and hang out with Will and do some gaming and stuff, actually playing the game. It's £100 to go to Cardiff. £100. Um, so I'm gonna do. The aim is kind of after fulfillment for this one, to then get on and do a whole rule set Kickstarter with a few more people. So a few that don't quite make it in, I think, to this. Just there's a bit of minis, but it's really focusing on the game. So just be aware that that is coming. So you can get a head start basically because you'll be able to get all these figures painted and stuff, and then the rules will be coming out a bit later. I don't say you can use them for everything, but I know some people are very excited about that. So it's not cancelled, it's just postponed to be better and bigger. And will be a book, not just a PDF. Oh yeah, yes. This book, which Ben Cale sent me because I had it on my wish listy. Where are we? I think it was like Christmas or something. He sent it. So I think there's just crap everywhere. I moved my PayPal reader. This book has been wicked. If you paint a lot of like my minis or are interested, it's a really good book. Look at the tome that it is. So I've been referencing this a lot. Again, with my distrust of the internet, those fashion sketches are so useful for colours. And you can sort of match them. There's photographs as well of people wearing things, so you can't be like, well, they just designed. So it's been really, really useful. It is a chunker. There's a 30s one as well. I think there's a 20s, but really handy. Oh gosh, put it on top of that thing there. It's whoa, that's gonna fall over. Where are you gonna go, massive book? Go there under my telephone and the jug. There we are. It is a blunt weapon against ignorance. Road Warrior Pig's been out for a drive recently, Annie. It hasn't. It's been on the back bench because of this. Because I've been getting, you know what? It does have a bit of boys' fashion actually, but I did have to end up looking up because I did have, because I've got truce in men's clothes and also Hans Scholl. I ended up going through a whole men's research as well. But yeah, it is. It's actually say, but it's like implied. There's a little bit when it's like zoot suits and stuff, but it's pretty. Oh, it was Christmas, oh guys. Yeah, it is women. That's interesting that fashion is assumed women. There are a few, yeah, look at that fella. There's a few fellas in there, but not really. What else was I going to say? I'll end this about 11, so even if I was late, it's still not overrun. What have we got? That brain, brain, 1940s. Yeah, that was it. So yeah, I'm full into getting this project ready and spamming it around. 27th is now 10 days, which is absolutely petrifying. So I'm going to get as far in as I can. There may be some that aren't sculpted that I've got sketches. I can show you a really cool sketch though. Yes, oh yes. So that's what I'm going on to now. So Rob did us Bob did us a fashion show on Friday because I asked for references so Agent Zoe, this will be my last anecdote then. Agent Zoe, made famous by Claire Mully, she parachuted in a dress, but with all the gear on top. And before I forget, the Kickstarter will be 2 weeks, which is longer than usual for me. It gives me more time to sort of tell more stories. So I wanted to, like taking off almost in that Eowyn, I am no man, to show that she's got this little dress on underneath with a little entrenching tool. Where am I at? Brain. And I've had it in my head for like a year and I couldn't visualize it. So I was asking some people for references and Bob took a load. Is that in a lift? Was that a lift? You took those photos? So Bob sent a load, and they were really useful. And then I messaged Marty, and I sent him all of my pictures and ideas. I went, "Can you make this look like an actual thing?" Um, Daniel's off. See you later, Daniel. Bye. Um, and he's only gone and done it, so he's making a more refined picture. Hang on, where are we? Marty Whitmore. He is the best. So this is where we've got. Look at that. So I'm well chuffed. So that's going to be amazing. So she's in the SOE drop suit as well, which I found a really good 360 reference for. And then Claire Mully, the author, knows who I am. So I've been emailing her about it because I wanted her to just say that she liked it before I had it made. Because like, if she was a bit disappointed in it, I'd cry because she's kind of become Zoe's mum. She's put her on the map, and she's. So I was like, just casually emailing Claire Mully like I do. As I'll be seeing her at the end of the month, so I've no idea if I'll be able to get something. So it was in a blue dress, but obviously, yeah, you can paint however. It's partly why I want to send stuff to other people. So I've got the official paint job, but then like just paint what you like. So if it was bright pink or something, that would be really cool. She did also have a coat and cardigan, and that was one of my like, how do I represent the coat and cardigan? Because then it makes her look even chunkier, and she wouldn't have even done that. But it's kind of just like, I've landed. I need to get this gear off. It's like a statue where it's representational. But I'm sure someone will go, she actually had a coat on as well. I'm like, yeah, yeah, she sure did. I know this. Which is also why I wanted to run it past Claire Mully, because if she said that, I'd have been like, okay, yes, I will make sure. Um, so yeah, it's still going to be different. It was sort of a dark blue. I'm going to paint it a bit of a lighter blue, just yeah, again for the impact. So yeah, thanks people who sent me pictures, and Bob posing there. I think Bob's behind on the watch at the moment because his messages seem a bit out of things. So I might get a message in 10 minutes. Or maybe he's caught up. I'm not sure. So yeah, so Zoe is happening, and I'm so chuffed. And I had a really nice chat with Claire about it, and said like the amount of people that have said, "Oh my God, are you going to do a figure of Zoe?" Like nobody would have known like a year ago who she was. I didn't know who she was till the book came out, and that's really cool. And Claire's really inspiring like that. And I want to do the same thing, that you will now start knowing who all these different women are because of the miniatures. If you're somewhere and someone mentions resistance, you go, I know about I know about Truce and Truce Oversea, you know, and Hanny Shaft, because they were disguised and they went out and about in the street, and I learned that from Bad Squiddo. Right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have some breakfast. Thanks for all being ace. I'm really glad you had a nice chat there. It makes me like all happy because that's how I advertise it. I go, come along, watch me ramble, but you can also just mute me and chat to people in the side if you want, because they're all lovely. So thanks for coming along. I'm gonna wake up, not steal any of Andy's milk, and do some more manic prepping, I think. Yes. So thank you all. You rock. Keep an eye out, share it when you see it. The link is up for Trench Crusade backdrops as well. I'm posting that around if you sign up to that, even if you're not going to buy them. Oh no, John's here. It helps, the old algorithm thing. The more people that sign up. Same with the Resistance Kickstarter. If you No, you can't. He's gonna watch this and he's gonna see the comments. He'll know. He'll know. So I will leave the house and buy milk. Andy, if you're watching this, I did not steal your milk. Come for me. Right, I'm gonna go. Thank you all. You are ace. Have a lovely rest of the day, and thanks for waiting for me this morning as well.